Today on Tank Radio, while you're cooking and getting ready for all the festivities and your lunches and dinners and all the family stuff, let me show you what you can do to stay active on amateur radio. On Tank Radio! So play that awesome intro video! I know, like what we're about to do, sometimes cooking is a little bit tedious and you're sitting there and stirring and stirring and stirring and waiting for water to boil, or you just got something in the oven that you got a little bit of downtime when you are getting ready for your big Thanksgiving or Christmas. This is a Christmas episode. Dinner. Well, let me tell you what I'm going to be doing. While we're sitting there stirring and stirring and stirring, I am going to be playing FT8 while I sit there and I make peanut brittle. Let's get started. Almost had a crisis. I couldn't find the digirig. All right, let's get ahead and get everything set up. This is the Power Mini 2, the first time we're going to use it. I'm not going to really review it this time. Just plug it in and see if it works. Careful. Need the antenna first. Not the one I was going for, but I'll take it. Well, y'all were right about reading lots of messages on what could be causing my radio to cut in and out. And it was the squelch. To turn off the squelch on the G90, you push in on this knob, and there's the squelch right there, and then you turn it here to off. Push in again to turn it off, and then we hear it all. Sweet. Here we go. I just like turning it off while I hook this stuff up. For some reason, I just think it works better. Turn that back on and plug it into the computer. Before we get FT8 going, I want to make sure this computer has remote desktop set up. To do that, right click on this computer and go to Properties and scroll down and Remote Desktop. It is disabled, so I'm going to go ahead and enable it and then confirm enabling, and I think that's all we got to do. And next we are going to fire up WSJTX, if I can find it on this messy desktop. Let's just search for it. Oh, we got to get OmniRig running first. Been a while since I did here, so I'm just going to check the COM port too. And it's COM3. Got OmniRig, COM3, WSJTX. Now I'm just going to check its settings. Radio, test cat. It's green! All right, we're monitoring. First, we got to change the mode. Oh, sweet, it's already there. It's not decoding, so let's check the audio. Ah, device is not found. USB, USB, okay. Hey, there it is. Computer number 2, go to remote desktop. And we are going to connect to desktop. And you type the computer name in and hit connect. And then remote control will jump over. We're connecting. And once it decides to log in, it's working. Where's my mouse? Sweet. And then we can go ahead and hit first call and enable transmit. And we're getting sound errors. We were getting sound card errors. I bet that's because when I enabled the remote desktop, I took the audio away from here and started piping it over here. After you got the remote desktop set up on the computer outside, we're going to be connecting to it with the computer inside. There's a couple of key features that we're going to have to disable to get sound working correctly, because remember, FT8 is sending sound through your sound card and hearing stuff. So we don't want that to be moved over to our remote desktop, and that's usually a key thing you want to have enabled in remote desktop. So first, we're going to go ahead and launch remote desktop. Then we're going to click show options. If you want to adjust your display like I'm doing here, you can adjust it here. I adjusted it down from 4K to 1080p because I'm going to split the screen in a second to have the recipe on one side, and then we're going to have FT8 running in remote desktop on the other side. The other key option is under local resources and settings, and we're going to disable sending the audio from the remote computer to this computer, and we're going to select the option under remote audio playback. We're going to say play on remote computer, and that should also auto disable the microphone feature. Go ahead and click OK, and your computer name, and connect, and there it is, FT8. All right, it's working, so let's go ahead and get inside and start cooking. So we got the recipe, we got FT8, and enable transmit. We're off to the races. Since we have FT8 up and running and our recipe over here, let's go ahead and gather the ingredients. All right, we are just now finished combining the wet ingredients, including the water and the corn syrup, and we are stirring them in and adding the sugar.
Oh yeah.
I am no stranger to sugar. And now comes the 15 to 20 minutes of waiting and playing that FT8. Also, can't forget the candy thermometer. We're going to keep stirring it till it hits 340. 340. Ay-ya. I'm just going to PSK Reporter and looking up my information here. Well, PSK Reporter says I'm getting out. Nothing like trying to troubleshoot and stir at the same time. Hey, I got someone coming back. Turn that down a bit. We're only at, not even 200. Last time I did this recipe, I did it wrong, and I didn't let it boil for 15 minutes after it hit 340. Because it just took so long. But now I'm distracted. I'm making a contact. Another contact. Stir, 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 stir. Oh, someone coming in. Yes, yes. Haha, contact. Log. And go. Oh, 350, nice. So we're gonna turn it down a little bit more. We're gonna dump pecans in it and stir for 15 minutes. We missed the pour. I just poured it on here. Yeah, I poured it on here, and the pour was pretty cool. I didn't hit record right on the camera. But I used a big firm spoon so I could push and pull and spread it out. The color is a little darker than I would have liked, but maybe that's because I was using pecans instead of peanuts. And now we just got to let it wait for it to cool. Do not touch any of it. It's super, super hot, and it will burn you super, super fast. I know from experience, do not touch it. The pan, oh, and I dropped the spoon in the pan. This is not a lickable pan. I haven't tried that yet, but I know better not to do that. Soap, water, let it sit overnight, and you'll be fine. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You can support me on Patreon. There is a link in the description below. And to all my tankers out there, go forth and conquer.